my name is Jessica and welcome to my kitchen. I am so glad you're here today and I'm going to make something delicious and fun. I'm going to make fresh donuts from scratch. In one of my earlier videos, I shared a recipe for this dough, which is wonderful and easy to make. It's a refrigerator dough. After you mix everything together, you'll want to let it sit in the refrigerator for 4 hours, and then it's nice and soft and easy to work with. I have some here that just came out of the refrigerator. Usually I take it at this point and I flour it lightly on both sides and get it ready to roll out. The recipe for this dough is in the description. So I've floured the dough, which is nice and cold on both sides. Because it's cold, you don't need as much flour. The coldness helps make it less sticky. Now I'll take my favorite rolling pin, which is a tapered French style rolling pin, and I'm just gonna roll this to an even thickness. You don't have to knead it or work it any more than it takes to get it rolled flat and even. Now I'm going to use a large circle cutter because this is the size I want my donuts to be. I'm going to cut 2 kinds of donuts today. I'm going to do some plain discs, which I will fill once they puff up. And then I'm also going to do some standard donuts with holes in the middle. Now to do that, I like to take a pastry tip, a large one like this, and after cutting the circle, I just cut the center, and then you can save these if you want and fry those separately as donut holes. We're gonna make many different types of donuts today, but you can do so much more than what I'm showing you. This is really a fun recipe to get creative with. After cutting your donut shapes, place them on a parchment lined pan. I like to cover them with an inverted baking pan that's exactly the same size. I don't have to throw away any plastic wrap or foil this way. They're protected in an enclosed environment and it gives them the perfect place to rise. Once you've cut and covered your donuts, you'll want to place them in a warm place for an hour so they can double in size. This could be on top of your refrigerator, or if it's a hot day and you have a safe place outside, you can place it outside and let them rise until they're doubled in bulk. This is the size of my donuts when I first rolled them out, and this is how they look after they've risen for an hour and been given that chance to rise to double in size. Once you let these rise, they're very delicate because they've got a lot more air in them. So be really careful when you're transferring them. We're going to place them in hot oil, but we're going to lift them delicately to do that. Now, some recipes recommend putting each donut on a square of parchment paper. Then you can lower the paper into the oil with it on top and lift it away as it starts to cook. I'm just really careful. I don't usually do that. I just lift it gently from the parchment paper and place it in the hot oil. It's really important when you're frying to make sure your oil is at the correct temperature before you put the food in it. If the oil is too cold, the food will absorb oil as it rises to the correct temperature. If the oil is too hot, then your food may burn or scorch. I'm using a neutral oil. I like to use a combination of canola oil and coconut oil. So I've got that heated up now, and it's at about 360 degrees. If you don't have a fryer, you could also do this on your cooktop in a pot. Just make sure you use a candy thermometer that will go to the higher temperatures so that you can monitor the temperature of your oil and keep it where you need it to be while you're cooking. Now I'll go ahead and gently place all of the donuts that I'm going to cook in this batch in the basket, and then I'll gently lower it into the oil. You don't want to throw things in because then you might splash, and that's when you get burned. Don't overcrowd the oil either. I'm just going to cook 2 donuts at a time today. And I'll put them in and let them start cooking. Once they're golden brown on one side, gently flip them around to cook on the other side. It's a little harder to flip a donut hole than a donut. Once you've fried all of your donuts, the fun really begins. I'm going to do these a few different ways today, but really, truly, when you're making them at home, use your imagination. I'm going to start out by making some glaze. I always like to sift the powdered sugar before I do this. That way there won't be any lumps in your glaze. The first glaze that I'm going to make today, I'm going to use really strong Earl Grey tea for. So I'm going to make an Earl Grey tea glazed donut. I've sifted the powdered sugar. Now I'll just add about a tablespoon of really strong Earl Grey tea and make a paste, and then I'll keep stirring it together until it's the consistency I want. To make my Earl Grey tea, I used 2 tea bags and I steeped them in about half a cup of hot water the whole time that the donuts were cooking, so it's really strong. When you make the glaze, if it looks too loose, you can always add more powdered sugar. It smells so good. I can smell the bergamot of the Earl Grey. I think this is gonna really be delicious on my donuts. I'll go ahead and add a little more powdered sugar. Since my donuts are still hot, I know that this is going to loosen up a little and sort of slide off the donuts, so I want it to be really thick. It's a beautiful consistency, and I'm ready to dip my donuts. I'll start by gently dropping them into the glaze, and then I like to use tongs to flip them over, and I give them a little twist. If you need to, you can also use a spoon to help coat the donut, but I tend to just tilt the pan. An Earl Grey tea glazed donut. Now I'm going to do a custard filled donut. I'm taking a Dimitas spoon, but you could also use a skewer, and I've made a vanilla custard that I'll go ahead and place the pastry bag in the donut and then fill it until it's completely full. And then I did not dip these in sugar because what I'm going to do instead is drizzle these with Nutella. And I've warmed up some Nutella and then put it in a pastry bag, and I'll very carefully drizzle back and forth on these donuts. Always remember when you're using a pastry bag to squeeze from the top down so things don't explode. I'm also going to do a strawberry filled donut. For that, I've got one of my favorite strawberry preserves ready to go in a pastry bag. And I'm going to just dust these with powdered sugar. Don't worry, I'll dust them some more after I fill them. I'll poke the hole. I'll add the strawberry preserves, again from the top down. For my last filled donuts, I've got an orange pastry cream. I took the vanilla cream and added orange zest. And I'll go ahead and fill these with that. So there'll be an orange custard filled donut. So I've made an orange glaze that I'm going to pour over those. I did add orange zest to the sugar and orange juice mixture, giving it just a pop of citrus flavor. For my final donut flavor today, I'm gonna use a surprise ingredient. This is not something I use very often, but I think for a lemon frosting or a lemon glaze, it's really fun, and I love the flavor it gives. As you can see, I sifted all of my powdered sugar, and now I'm going to take unsweetened Kool-Aid lemonade powder and add this in with the powdered sugar. This will give it a little bit of a pink color and a very citrusy flavor. To that, I'll add some water, just a little, and I'll make that glaze. So we'll have pink lemonade donuts. Just like with the other donuts, just dip them on each side, shake off the excess frosting. And if you want, you can garnish these with sprinkles. I'm gonna go ahead and put a few pink hearts on these because they just make it look so sweet. It's so much fun to make these. As you can see, I've embellished them all a little further. I garnished my Earl Grey tea glazed donut with a few slivers of lemon. And then I have a little sliver of orange on the orange cream filled donut. And for the strawberry jelly donut, just a little sliver of strawberry on top. And you already know how I did the pink lemonade and the Nutella cream filled donut. I hope you'll enjoy making these at home. They are really a great opportunity to get creative and do a combination of many different flavors. I'd love to have you join me in the kitchen again. Please subscribe so you'll know when we release more videos so you can join us and cook with us here at KitchenAble. Thank you.